हेलो फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप लोग। मेरा नाम है तरुण और आप देख रहे हैं लॉ पोर्टल। आज हम इस वीडियो में बात करने वाले हैं एक ऐसे कंटेस्टेंट से हु इज करंटली द सिटिंग प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट बार एसोसिएशन एंड इज कंटेस्टिंग फॉर एन अनदर टर्म इन द सेम दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट बार एसोसिएशन। लेकिन आगे बढ़ने से पहले मैं आपको एक चीज बता दूं कि जो वीडियो आप देखने वाले हैं वो एक्चुअली मैंने उनके ऑफिस में रिकॉर्ड की थी, बट बिकॉज ऑफ सम ग्लिच मेरे माइक की ऑडियो ही रिकॉर्ड नहीं हुई, इसलिए मुझे इस वीडियो को थोड़ा एक डिफरेंट तरीके से एडिट करना पड़ा। सो विद दैट राइटर इन माइंड, चलिए शुरू करते हैं। तो क्या आप लोगों को पता है कि मिस्टर मोहित माथुर is actually the second youngest president of Delhi High Court Bar Association. Now, I'm not saying that for sure. It is just something I've heard in the court corridors very often. So let's ask the man himself, is it true or not?
I wouldn't know. I never checked the record as such, but people definitely say this. I wouldn't know whether I was the second youngest or not. That only the record would say. But yes, I am fortunate enough that at an early age I got the support of the members, strong enough to give me that courage to do whatever was required to be done for the members, and I hope I have fulfilled and reached their expectations.
Your tenure in the Delhi High Court Bar Association must be the toughest one because of the onset of the pandemic, which nobody foresaw or could have foreseen for that matter. And I guess that is what that will make your tenure to be remembered forever. While we members have seen that you have managed to work through it perfectly, how was your experience while you were dealing with that situation?
You're right. It has been a tumultuous one where a lot of issues came up. The entire world went down with the pandemic. But one has to appreciate that everything that comes up as a problem is also a challenge, which if you take it up as an opportunity, that challenge shows that you can do something. And I was fortunate that I had a very good team and we were able to overcome those challenges and do something to help the members during this pandemic, as well as before that in whatever little way.
Now sir, because this conversation is for the purpose of forthcoming elections of Delhi High Court Bar Association and you have been a sitting president, therefore I'm sure people must be eager to know as to what all have you achieved in your tenure. So can you please list a few of those things that you had in your manifesto and you have accomplished that?
Tarun, I have been a part of this executive committee as a secretary also earlier, about 10 years back, and having learned from what we can do and how we can evolve as a bar, I had taken this opportunity as president when I was elected to do whatever little we can do to improve the condition of the members and somehow give them and get them due regard, respect and the dignity. So for that purpose, whatever little we could do, and the other things were that the parents of younger wards who are members of our bar, whenever they had been complaining that whenever both the parents had to come for work, it used to be very tough to leave their wards behind or to have them picked up from school, etc. So there was a demand for a creche, which we were finally able to fulfill. With the help of the High Court, we were able to work out a way where a creche facility and a fully state-of-the-art creche facility could be created and developed and made operational, which is helping not just the staff of the High Court but also members and those members who needn't drop their wards every day, but on a given day they are supposed to come to the High Court and they have no place to leave their children behind. They can use the creche facility. Similarly, there were rooms lying idle in the chamber block, especially in the chamber block 3. Those rooms were lying idle because the joint registrar courts got shifted to the third building, the C block, as it used to be originally. So we use those idle rooms to develop fully equipped cubicles, which gives a facility to members to have if their interaction, client interaction, as well as during this VC period, wherever the VC hearings were going on, since that was equipped with the computers, etc. People who needed to do their VC hearings while they are in the High Court and the other courts and forums that they had to attend. So those rooms were created, those which we have titled as Vimarsh. Those cubicles allow even the local commissions to record the evidences. So the facilities which were available in our bar room, the bar association office, those small cabins that were available for rent, etc., for people to use those facilities within the premises for their client interaction, etc. We have added 5-6 more rooms to that. Gives a better facility because it's a rolling thing. It's not a chamber allotted to somebody. It's a rolling thing which more and more people, as a turnaround time is generally given, 1 hour time slot is given. So it gives a facility to more larger numbers. Another thing, Tarun, which why these LC rooms and these rooms are useful is कि कई बारी कमिश्नर को जब रिकॉर्ड करनी होती है एविडेंस, उसे हाई कोर्ट की फाइल चाहिए होती है फॉर एग्जिबिट, और हाई कोर्ट की फाइल हाई कोर्ट के बाहर ले जाने में जजेस भी कतराते हैं और कमिश्नर्स भी कतराते हैं. सो दे नीड अ प्लेस विच इज विद इन द हाई कोर्ट प्रिसिंक्ट्स एंड दैट गिव्स दैट एडवांटेज. और अब जो नए चेंबर ब्लॉक बन रहा है, अगर आप देखेंगे जाकिर हुसैन मार्ग पे, तो उसमें भी हमने जो ऑड एरियाज वेस्ट जा रहे थे उनको कवर करके, उनको भी ग्लास से पार्टीशनिंग से कवर करा के उनको भी कंसल्टेशन रूम्स बनवा लिया है. और कुछ जगहों को हमने इसी तरह के क्यूबिकल्स के लिए जगह जो स्पेस थी उसको डिवाइड करके छोटे छोटे क्यूबिकल्स बना दिए, रादर देन चेम्बर्स जो बन नहीं पा रहे थे बिकॉज ऑफ द ऑड साइज एंड ऑड शेप्स. तो दिस इज अ फैसिलिटी विच वी हैव ट्राइड टू इवॉल्व, बिकॉज जैसे यू सेड कि यंगर मेंबर्स को दिक्कत होती है. यंगर मेंबर्स का चेंबर के अलॉटमेंट में तो बहुत देर में नंबर आने वाला है, तो उतनी दूर तक तो जा नहीं पाएंगे बेचारे, कौन वेट करेगा. तो हाउ डू यू यूटिलाइज द स्पेस विद इन द हाई कोर्ट एंड हाउ डू दे यूटिलाइज देयर टाइम विद इन द हाई कोर्ट. दे आर एबल टू यूटिलाइज देयर टाइम विद इन द हाई कोर्ट बाय गिविंग द कॉन्फ्रेंस स्लॉट्स एक्सेट्रा इन द हाई कोर्ट इन ऑल दीज प्लेसेस. तो जहाँ जहाँ हमें जगह मिल रही है और जहाँ जहाँ जैसे जैसे कंस्ट्रक्शन होती है या डेवलपमेंट होती है किसी स्पेस की, तो वो जगह निकल के आती है. हम उस जगह को ऑप्टिमम यूटिलाइजेशन के लिए फॉर मेंबर्स कोशिश कर रहे हैं और ये चीज़ें जारी हैं. लेट्स सी हाउ मच फर्दर वी कैन टेक एंड व्हाट ऑल वी कैन डू.
सर, ऑन दिस इशू ऑफ न्यू चेंबर ब्लॉक, आई वांट टू नो बाय व्हेन विल दिस ब्लॉक बी ऑपरेशनल एंड हाउ एग्जैक्टली इज द अलॉटमेंट प्रोसेस गोइंग टू बी.
इसमें एक्चुअली बार की तरफ से जो रिकमेंडेशंस होती हैं कि आपको एक जोन ऑफ कंसिडरेशन में रखना होता है कि भाई कितने लोग, जितने चेंबर्स हैं आप सीनियरिटी के हिसाब से उतने लोगों को कवर करते हैं. और कुछ लोगों को जैसे पहले मिल चुका, कहीं और मिल गया या किसी और जगह उन्होंने ऑप्ट कर लिया, या जैसे सम हैव गॉट एलिवेटेड तो दे विल बी बाईपास्ड, सम आर अनफॉर्चुनेटली नो मोर. तो अगर उनकी फैमिली मेम्बर्स कोई है तो वो आ जाएगा, उसकी जगह सब्सटीट्यूट हो जाएगा. वो प्रोसेस ऑलमोस्ट ख़त्म हो रहा है. अगेन कोविड प्लेड हैवॉक, क्योंकि वो कंस्ट्रक्शन फाइनलाइज नहीं हो पाई. कई जगह गवर्नमेंट के ऑर्डर्स की वजह से कंस्ट्रक्शन बंद ही हो गई थी बिल्कुल, इट वॉज प्रोहिबिटेड. सो वो जो फिनिशिंग टचेस हैं वो दिए जा रहे हैं. अदरवाइज बिल्डिंग स्ट्रक्चर एवरीथिंग इज कंप्लीट and I am very hopeful that the completion certificate will soon be given to the building so that the people can actually start occupying it. There will be a fitment period time given to them because it's a state of the art building. Obviously नई चीज़ बनती है, वो नई facilities के साथ बनती है, एक नए उसमें जो चीज़ें हैं, जितनी डेवलपमेंट हुई है, टेक्नोलॉजी है, वो सब चीज़ें डलती हैं. तो इट्स अ सेंट्रलाइज्ड एयर कंडीशनिंग. देन वी हैव ट्राइड टू वर्क आउट बिकॉज हमारे कैफेटेरियाज जो हैं यू वुड सी दे आर ऑलवेज ओवरफुल. तो वहाँ पे भी हमने एक 125-150 लोगों का एक कैफेटेरिया एक्स्ट्रा बनाया है. और एक ओपन एयर जो स्पेस थी हमारा एट्रियम एरिया, तो यंगर मेंबर्स एक्चुअली डोंट वांट टू वेट फॉर देयर प्रॉपर लंच के लिए कोई उन्हें इंतज़ार नहीं करना चाहते, दे आर हैप्पी टेकिंग अ कोल्ड कॉफ़ी और अ जूस विद अ सैंडविच। तो उसके लिए हमने एक सॉर्ट ऑफ अ एट्रियम में कैफेटेरिया टाइप ऐसी चीज़ बनाने की कोशिश करी है, और हमारी इंटेंशन भी है, और वो एरिया अलॉट भी ऐसे होगा जहाँ पे आप ये समझ लीजिए सॉर्ट ऑफ फूड कोर्ट, may not be exactly like a food court, but yes, there will be 2-3 people, vendors who are able to cater to their needs, and you will have a plush area, more cleaner and a more open area where you can spend those 15-20 minutes enjoying your coffee and जो आप cold coffees and frappes etc. हैं.
This response of yours, sir, I'm really glad to see, because this was one topic I've been meaning to ask you, because there is one video which has went viral on the internet, especially in the legal circles, even though it was a parody, but I feel it was all in good sense and there was nothing offensive about it, whereas some people took serious offense of that. What do you have to say about that?
You are right. ठीक है, that was a parody or a joke for that whatever they wanted to say, that canteen में जगह नहीं मिलती. So we are forgetting that this canteen also we have been able to get the clearance for expansion. When we joined the bar 30 years back, this canteen was 1/4 its size. Now we have already grown 4 times, and probably another capacity of 100-120 will be added when that the filing counter area also will be shifted out. अब हर चीज़ में थोड़ा सा प्रोसेस ये लगता है कि when you upset a system which is running, it takes a little time for making alternate arrangements for that place. तो वो अभी चल रहा है. We were very hopeful कि शायद इस दौरान हो जाएगा पिछले 1-आधा महीने में. But then because filing counter today with the e-filing system, there is a huge IT part of it which is involved. So they have to make arrangements for all this server connectivity, etc. जैसे ही वो हो जाएगा, this portion also will be here. So we'll have the entire B block as the building goes. So this is called the B block. तो B block के सारा का सारा ground floor आप ये समझ लीजिए will be a canteen area for the cafeteria area for the high court. So hopefully by the year end we should have added about space for about 300 people more. 150 के करीब दूसरी जगह आ जाएंगे, 125-150 की जगह यहाँ बन जाएगी. तो और ग्लास कैंटीन भी, if you would have seen and noticed in the last 6-8 months we utilized the time for the COVID में जब लॉकडाउन रहा, तो we refurbished it so that जो वहाँ पे थोड़ी बहुत पानी की लीकेज या पुराना भी तो हो गया था. देखिए अब 12-15 साल हो गए जिस चीज़ को. तो इन द लास्ट 15 years or so, whatever we have the time that has gone by, एंड किसी भी चीज़ की रिपेयर वर्क मांगता है, तो वो सब कराते कराते अब हमने ग्लास कैंटीन भी खोल दी. वहाँ पे भी देयर इज सीटिंग स्पेस ऑफ अबाउट 120-130 पीपल. तो वी कैन ओनली अकोमोडेट सो मेनी. द नंबर ऑफ members has gone up, and we are today almost at 27,000 members of the bar. तो अगर आप नॉन इफेक्टिव मेंबर्स या पुराने मेंबर्स को एक्सक्लूड भी करेंगे, देन ऑल्सो वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ मोर देन 20,000 मेंबर्स, जो पिछले 15-20 साल में 20,000 मेंबर बन गए. तो 20,000 लोगों की कैपेसिटी के लिए तो खैर अभी टाइम लगेगा.
When you informed us about the works that you have done while in the office, you forgot one thing, and I know you are never going to bring it up because you are never going to take a credit for it. But this is one thing I personally feel, if I also don't mention it, perhaps it will not be a justice to your tenure, and that is when the pandemic came, entire country was put under lockdown. I saw you working throughout the time when there was lockdown, when people were not even coming out of their houses. You were the one who was there on the ground in the high court premises, coordinating with the bench to make sure that you can provide vaccination facilities to the members of the bar. But even during that vaccination drive, one thing I want to ask, you could have actually stopped by simply making sure that the members of the bar are vaccinated. However, you did not stop at that. You made sure that not just members but also their family members and their office staff should also be vaccinated, and you did it at the cost of the bar.
Tarun, one thing is there, the action is taken as per a situation. उस वक्त रिक्वायरमेंट थी अपने मेंबर्स को मेडिकल हेल्प पहुंचाने की. एक पैंडेमिक में मेडिकल हेल्प इज द मेन थिंग. उस टाइम पे उसको केस की नहीं सूझती थी, अपनी जान बचाने की थी, अपनी फैमिली की जान बचाने की थी. हमने वैक्सीनेशन ड्राइव, ठीक है, शुरुआत हमने करा कि हम अपने मेंबर्स के लिए कर रहे हैं, बट देन इमीडिएटली देयर आफ्टर वी रियलाइज कि वो मेंबर भी तो वल्नरेबल है. अगर उसकी फैमिली सिक्योर्ड नहीं है, उसका ऑफिस सिक्योर्ड नहीं है, उसका स्टाफ सिक्योर्ड नहीं है, तो we immediately, and in that entire process we vaccinated almost about 4800 to 5000 people, or probably even more. I would not have the exact data, but yes, more than 5000 people got vaccinated. तो उसमें हमने मेंबर्स, स्टाफ, फैमिली मेंबर्स सबको किया ताकि इंसान एक टेंशन फ्री तो हो जाए कम से कम फ्रॉम द पैंडेमिक.
Sir, all of these things are those which have already been done in the past. Now, what everyone is wanting to know from you is, what are your plans for the future?
आज पैंडेमिक चला गया, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि challenges चले गए. Challenges will still come. Pandemic was not a challenge which anybody could have foreseen. It was an unforeseen situation. It was an unforeseen circumstance. So, even if people want to forget it, I'm sure the travails which people went through, वो उनको भूलने नहीं देंगी. दूसरी चीज जो मेरा मानना ये है, देखिए बार की एक बहुत ज़बरदस्त नीड हमेशा होती है, और वो है कि उसकी दिक्कतें, उसके यंगर मेंबर्स की दिक्कतें, somebody should be able to speak about them. And also I would add a rider here, merely speaking will have no meaning. You must have an effective representation, and effectivity comes when you are able to get the solutions implemented. What we have seen in the past and what we perceive will be something which is required in the future is the fact that we must now progress towards, there is more of digital working, the cyber atmosphere which is there with e-filing, everybody using their laptops and iPads. You need Wi-Fi connectivity. Again, Wi-Fi connectivity, because of the pandemic of 2020 year, we thought that perhaps in 2021, by getting a few towers and all installed, which also there are so many restrictions from TRAI, etc., and whatever little we could manage and we could do, the load on them was so high कि वो भी इफेक्टिव नहीं हुए. अब एक पूरा प्रपोजल चल रहा है, and I can say it with confidence, we will have it done also. That is not a thing, but it requires the technically to be feasible and viable. In 2021, when we got this towers and the Wi-Fi connectivity, when we tested, it showed everything fine. But when the load increased, obviously it started losing its efficacy and the speed was slow. Now we have gone ahead and we are trying to work out a way where some kind of a mesh is created, which, as they call it, technically again I may be wrong, is that there will be boosters all across to make it a seamless connectivity. Because now today almost every second lawyer, and especially your generation, uses the mobile as their laptop, as their telephone, as their workbook, as their notes, everything is on that, and you are constantly looking at it, so you need constant touch. And then some people use this iCloud where they put everything there, or Dropbox, or whatever those technical terms are, and then keep downloading their files from there. तो इस चीज़ के लिए हमें एक सीमलेस कनेक्टिविटी एडवाइस की गई थी, और वो सीमलेस कनेक्टिविटी तभी हो सकती है जब वो आप बिल्कुल एक जो हनीकॉम्ब टाइप ऑफ सिस्टम सेट हो.
you actually made the connectivity in the High Court way better than it was ever. You were there on the ground to actually make sure that the new towers that you are trying to get installed, they do get installed, and you succeeded in that. But because the strength of lawyers have increased in the High Court, the network issues are still there, and that is how some people are trying to attack you. What do you have to say on that?
I don't say whether competitor A is right or wrong. That is for him to see, and that is for him to portray his manifesto, his way of complaining, or his way of putting what the problem is. But merely citing problems is not the solution, and merely by saying that my coming or my taking the position will give me right to address the issue. See, we are not technical people, we need technical help, and for that we always resort to, जैसे हम as professionals हैं in the field of law, there are other professionals in different technical fields. तो जो जब तक वो एडवाइस नहीं करेंगे, सिंप्लिसिटर हमारे बैठे बैठे जिसे कॉफ़ी टेबल डिस्कशन करने कहते हैं, उससे सोल्यूशन नहीं निकलता. एंड ऑल दीज सोल्यूशंस दे टेक देयर टाइम बिकॉज दे हैव टू वर्क आउट फीजिबिलिटीज. एंड वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ an institution like the High Court which is spread out as well as it has clusters of load. ये नहीं है कि सारी जगह उतना ही लोड होना है. तो कुछ जगहों पे क्लस्टर्स ऐसे हैं जहाँ डेंसनेस ज़्यादा है. जब वो डेंसनेस ज़्यादा होती है तो लोड बढ़ जाता है. तो all these things are issues are already being discussed with the professionals, and they are the ones who have asked us to work on certain things, and we have asked them to work on certain things. Obviously, I am no magician. I can't do it overnight, and it takes its own time.
Well, thank you so much for giving me your precious time, sir. I know with elections just around the corner, you are very busy. I wish you all the best for your elections, and may you win once again with the humongous victory with which you won at the first time. So friends, ये थी मेरी conversation with Mr. Mohit Mathur, who is contesting for the post of president in the forthcoming Delhi High Court Bar Association elections. I hope आपको इससे थोड़ी clarity मिले एक informed decision बनाने के लिए. In case yes, please don't forget to hit the like button, show your support to Mr. Mathur, and also subscribe to this channel. मैं मिलूंगा आपसे next video में. Till then, take care. Bye bye.